But I do have a whole lot of respect for the homie Andre Iguodala. Illinois bias, y'all already heard. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. And one trade that had nothing to do with anything is the homie D'Angelo, aka the Snitch Russell, going to the Minnesota Timberwolves and linking up with Karl Anthony Towns. The kid that they sent back to Golden State, everybody's saying he's a bust and he's a waste. This is why I always tell people, this is why you need to stay your ass in college, to get that dog about you. You can get, I believe, I'm one of the rare people that believe getting your ass kicked in college basketball, it has nothing to do with the money. It has nothing to do with the exploitation. I'm talking about the development of your game so you can make $2 and $3 and $4 and $500 million throughout your career. It might be worth it to stay those extra 2 years to get that competitive spirit from you. Because guess what? If you had to stay in college for 3 years and get your ass kicked for 2 or 3 years, you hit the league, never want to lose again, and then hopefully it'll ignite something in you. That's what I think is wrong with the young brother Wiggins. But I think my man RC, who's in the chat room, I think his Minnesota Timberwolves finally got a foundation. Karl Anthony Towns, if him and the big homie Joel Embiid can stop shooting all those goddamn jump shots, put their back to the basket and do the damn thing, I think they'll take off. See, the problem is, we understand you can do a lot, but you don't have to do everything when you're 7 feet tall. I think Portland got a great squad too. The problem with Portland, that's my man Chiz Browntree. Chiz, the problem I think it is with Portland is this. Portland got too many people exclusively shooting jump shots. I'm going to get into this Houston Rockets thing a little later and explain that. But they shoot too many jump shots, and it is due to lack of focus. You got my man Dan Dollars, who did 4 years of school. CJ McCullough did 4 years of school. You got Carmelo on the team, and I think they got a solid team. But I don't know if they can take anybody out. But the way these dudes play this stupid-ass brand of basketball, you might be right, Chiz. Anybody can win because these dummies will shoot their way right out the game with these stupid-ass threes, not understanding that if you got a Karl Anthony Towns or Joel Embiid who's shooting 80-plus from the free throw line, if you put them in the post, let them dunk or hit a layup and get fouled, and they hit the shot, lo and behold, that's 3. Somebody else is tired, then you keep it moving. I don't understand it. But the D'Angelo Russell and the Mitchell Wiggins trade, I'm impressed. I am thoroughly impressed. I'm excited for both of those teams, even though it's next year, and I got one bone to pick with the Golden State Warriors and mainstream media. And my bone to pick with them is this. My bone to pick with them is this. How in the hell, and I'm going to repeat it, how in the hell are you telling me nobody's, we kill people for load management. We kill people for load management. We kill people for all this nonsense, taking it easy. But I haven't heard one word out of the mainstream media for taking down, for Golden State tanking this year. Nobody talking about the Golden State Warriors tanking. Why is that? Why ain't nobody mad at the Golden State Warriors tanking? Because, look, my man got the busted up wrist. I get that. But a wrist or a hand or a bone takes about a month to heal. Steph been gone 2 months. So you telling me Steph healing slower than most people? I don't think so. They're tanking to get a high draft pick so they can rebuild that dynasty. I ain't mad at them, but don't get mad at us. Every time you turn around, you're dissing Philadelphia for the process. So I ain't trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm dissing Golden State. Y'all tanking, y'all know it. And mainstream media, y'all a bunch of clowns for allowing them to do it. I disown the T-Wolves when they got traded KD to Boston until they sell the team. They will continue to struggle. That's RC. He can put the curse of the RC. Arsino. He like the Bambino, but he the Arsino. Big up to RC. Hey, man, I feel you, man. Portland needs another big man. Actually, Chuck, they have Hassan Whiteside. Hassan Whiteside, he playing for a paycheck this year. Therefore, he won't have any wild-ass outbursts. He won't be acting a damn fool until he get that bread again. So, man, I've always been more of a fan of the players and teams. That's my man RC again. I can feel it, man, because me and RC, we struggle from the same affliction. Hometown team ownership on bullshit. That's what time it is. Oh, a hometown team ownership on bullshit. Now, he don't have an issue with the Minnesota Vikings. If the Minnesota Vikings would have messed around and drafted Dak Prescott, if they'd have drafted, Matthew Stafford, they would have went to the Super Bowl by now. They can't get the damn quarterback situation. But the Bears, the Timberwolves, the White Sox, the Cubs, they all owned by the same people, I think, because they half-assed in the bullshit. How is it that you amass enough money to purchase an NFL team, which is over $4 at the time when homeboy bought the Vikings? That's $400 million, but you don't have the ability to put together a management staff. Now, the quarterback thing, I ain't tripping. The Timberwolves, how the hell y'all in shambles? The Bulls in shambles. It's just insane. But I just think people bullshitting with people money like this, man. I ain't trying to hear that. So when you're a big-time sports fan like me and my man RC and others, we start rooting for players because we can't put faith in these people who own these damn teams. I think Portland is looking solid, but I think the next season for them will be will be highly impressive. I understand they're still building, and I've always been a Carmelo fan, but next season I think they will have a chance. Carmelo talking about retiring after this year, though, Cheers. That's the only issue with that. My man Chris came in and said, that crossed my mind. What crossed your mind? If you want to call in and share what crossed your mind, you are welcome. But I'm not sure what crossed your mind. Yeah, but I don't have an issue with that. But I did have an issue with the Golden State Warriors taking and nobody called them out. Next up is the Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal criticism. I got a question for the listeners. Were they wrong for saying that? And were they right for what they said? I'm going to address it first. If they had not addressed the Joel Embiid personally, man to man, if they had not addressed Ben Simmons man to man, I would say they're wrong for saying that. If they've had one-on-one conversations with those people, then they cool. I think they're within their right to say exactly what they said. The reason I'm saying that is because I can remember when people used to say Shaquille O'Neal wasn't as focused as he needed to be. And people like the great Wilt Chamberlain, the great Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, they stepped to Shaq and they told Shaq. And Shaq even said other players throughout the league like Ewing and others said you need to get focused, you need to get on your shit and stop bullshit. So if Shaq had the ability, he had the intelligence of the elders stepping to him and saying, yo, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. We need you to get on this. I would hope that he would do the same. Charles Barkley, he had the luxury of Moses Malone being in his locker room. And when you got a guy like Moses Malone in your locker room, and he told Charles, you fat, you overshaped, you need to get your shit in order. And he started working out with Charles. Charles, I'm sure, being a Philadelphia 76er legend, having your number retired, you can go step to Ben and Joel. You have the ability to step to them from a loser's perspective, not saying that Charles is a loser. You worked your ass off and didn't win. Part of the reason you didn't work your ass off the way you thought, from my perception, is you did like most young people. I'll get it next year. And it never came to fruition. So if you didn't step to them and you calling them mentally weak and physically weak, then I think that was a Bush League move. A lot of people don't have the ability to have Charles Barkley and Joel and Shaquille O'Neal talk to them. I think Simmons and Embiid does, and if they didn't, I think that was some sucker shit, flat out. I understand that it's entertaining. I understand that people want to hear stuff like that, but if you can step to those dudes initially and say that right off the gate, right off the rip, I think that was some sucker shit. And if y'all did, I can appreciate the fact that you took time out your day to criticize them, and hopefully it motivates them. When Barkley was a rookie, he bought 5 cars, and Dr. J sat him down and told him to sell for them and dress like a pro and get in shape. Shout out to RC. Exactly. When you in the locker room with one, Dr. J, Julius Erving, Moses Malone, Chicago's own Maurice Cheeks, Andrew Toney, and others, then you have the ability not to make mistakes or make young guy mistakes. And when you don't have that, you get young dudes like Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid skating along. So if they talk to them privately, that's cool. If they didn't, I didn't like the mentally weak, because we all know that mentally weak thing is a stigma that has been attached to our young people or our people for a very long time. Something else I don't like about the way people are attacking the Philadelphia 76ers is this. Everybody's talking about the wrong moves that they made. Tobias Harris is a distant shooter. You need that when you can have a non-shooting Ben Simmons and a big man in Joel Embiid. He surrounded them with shooters, so what's the problem? This is the same thing. What I don't like is the fact that Brett Brown, if they are not focused, if they are not living up to expectations, it's either the player's fault or the coach's fault. And me, you, and anybody who will ever listen to this podcast, no, it is never the player's fault. Even when it is their fault, it's not their fault. Therefore, when you are in a situation and you are telling people, hey, it's this and it's that, and it's this and it's that, it's not this and it's that. What it is this. It's your fault. It's always your fault as the head coach. You're the leader of men. You're not leading them in the right direction. My man Big Illinois just echoed that. They need a new voice. If they're not going in the right direction, that's the coach's fault. That's why coaches get fired. That's why Tony Dungy got fired. That's why dozens of coaches throughout the years. Doug Collins got fired. That's why Dale Harris got fired in Los Angeles. That's why Larry Brown got hired in Detroit, because they needed a new voice. They needed new focus. They had talent. They were living up to some of the expectations, but they were not exceeding the low-level expectations that young players have. This is another reason you need to stay your ass in school, because this will allow you to create focus. And if you don't have focus, you're not going to be successful. That's just the way it goes, y'all. We could pretend, oh man, they are being exploited. Look, guess what? If you're getting exploited in college, you also get exploited in the pros. You will never become a billionaire playing in the National Basketball Association. I guarantee you, if you add up all the money that Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and any other the highest paid players in the league, it won't be $1 billion. Individual high paid, not the entire crew of highest paid players. So ain't nobody trying to hear that. You getting exploited no matter what. Unless you open up a gym and you get 12 superstars to come play and charge people $200 a pop. Then you won't be exploited. But as long as you're playing in the league, you're going to be exploited to some point. So there are all these geniuses that step out. Oh, they taking advantage of them. No shit, Sherlock. No shit. Spreaker.com taking advantage of me. I got mad talent. We open up our own network, and they host my shit, and they taking advantage of me. But I will parlay this. I have parlayed this into things that are beneficial to me. Therefore, it is a situation to where I will allow you to use me to a certain extent. By the way, when you get your ass up, go to work tomorrow, tonight, or on your way to work right now, or if you're listening later on and downloaded it, you're on your way to get exploited. So when people make these outstanding revelations about college athletes being exploited, we all are. It's just it's a matter of what you do as you're being exploited, point blank, period. But one of the things I don't like is the fact that Elton Brand has put together a good enough team to win, and nobody's talking about this dude, Brett Brown. But you know what? Again, I always reference this roundtable that I saw on ESPN. Jamil Hill, the former defensive coordinator and head coach of the Miami Hurricanes, Randy Shannon, and there's a few other athletes on there, and there was this psychologist, and he said something that has resonated with me every time I listen to a Mike and Mike in the morning, or what is it, Get Up, or Shannon Sharp, or any of those shows. I think about what this psychologist said. He said a lot of these reporters and things are racist, and it's not even with intent. They're not bigoted, they're racist. They take up for their culture, and they make you seem smaller just because it is inherent that you prop up people who look like you. And I honestly see that with the disrespect that you give to Patrick Mahomes and